Chapter 2, Skillful Means. At that time, there was within the great city of Vaisali an elder named Vimalakirti. He had already made offerings to immeasurable Buddhas, deeply planting the foundation of goodness. He had attained forbearance of the non-arising of dharmas, and his eloquence was unhindered. He disported on the numinous penetrations and had achieved all the dharani's. He had attained fearlessness and had subjugated the troubling vengeance of the maras. Entering into all the gates of profound dharma, he was excellent at the perfection of wisdom. Having penetrated skillful means, his great vows had been accomplished. Understanding the tendencies of the minds of sentient beings, he was also able to discriminate between those of sharp and dull faculties. Long a practitioner of the path of Buddhahood, his mind was already pure, and he was definitively dedicated to the Mahayana. He considered well the activities of the realms of existence, and, residing in the deportment of the Buddha, his mind was great as the ocean. The Buddhas praised him as their disciple, and the Indras, Brahmas, and world lords, that is, heavenly kings, revered him. Wanting to save people, Vimalakirti used his excellent skillful means to reside in Vaisali, where, with wealth immeasurable, he attracted the poor. With the purity of his morality, he attracted the miscreants. With the moderation of his forbearance, he attracted the angry. With great exertion, he attracted the indolent. With single-minded concentration, he attracted the perturbed. And with definitive wisdom, he attracted the foolish. Although he was a white-robed layman, he maintained the pure Vinaya conduct of a Shramana. Although he resided in the home, he was not attached to the triple world. He manifested the existence of wife and sons, but always cultivated chastity. He revealed the existence of subordinates, but always enjoyed transcendence. Although his clothing was richly decorated, it was with the marks and features of a Tathagata that he adorned his body. Although he drank and ate, the joy of concentration was his favorite flavor. If he went to gambling houses or theaters, it was only to save people. He hosted those of the heretic paths without breaking his correct faith. Although he illuminated the profane classics, he always took pleasure in the Buddha Dharma. He was revered by all as the one most worthy of offerings. In supporting the correct Dharma, he attracted both old and young. In all of his business dealings, although he made worldly profits, he never took joy in them. In wandering the crossroads, he dispensed benefit to sentient beings. In entering into government administration, he safeguarded everyone. In entering into the lecture halls, he led people by means of the Mahayana. In entering the schools, he inspired the children. In entering the brothels, he revealed the transgressions that arise from desire. In entering the wine shops, he was able to maintain, literally to establish, his good intention. When he was with the elders, as the most honored of the eminent, he explained the excellent Dharma for them. When he was among retired scholars, as the most honored of the retired scholars, he eradicated their attachments. When he was among Kshatriyas, as the most honored among the Kshatriyas, he taught them forbearance. When he was among Brahmins, as the most honored among Brahmins, he eliminated their arrogance. When he was among the ministers, as the most honored among ministers, he taught them the correct Dharma. When he was among princes, as the most honored among princes, he instructed them with loyalty and filiality. When he was among palace officials, as the most honored among palace officials, he converted the palace women. When he was among the common people, as the most honored among the common people, he had them generate the power of blessings. When he was among Brahma gods, as the most honored of the Brahma gods, he taught with superior wisdom. When he was among Indras, as the most honored among Indras, he manifested impermanence. When he was among world protector gods, as the most honored among world protectors, he protected sentient beings. The elder Vimalakirti used immeasurable skillful means such as these to benefit sentient beings. Using skillful means, he manifested becoming ill himself. Because he was ill, the king, ministers, elders, retired scholars, Brahmins, the princes and the other palace retainers, and innumerable thousands of people all came to inquire about his illness. To those who came, Vimalakirti used the occasion of his illness to make extensive explanations of the Dharma. Sirs, the body is impermanent, without strength, without power, without solidity. Given the way it rapidly disintegrates, it cannot be trusted or relied upon. Alternately suffering and vexatious, it accumulates a host of illnesses. Sirs, the wise do not rely on such a body. This body is like a bit of foam that cannot be grasped. This body is like bubbles that do not last very long. This body is like a mirage generated from thirst. This body is like a banana tree with nothing solid within. This body is like a phantasm arising from confused views. This body is like a dream, an illusory view. This body is like a shadow manifested through karmic conditions. This body is like an echo, dependent on causes and conditions. This body is like a cloud, which changes and disappears in an instant. This body is like lightning, unstable from one moment to another. This body is without master, like the earth. This body is without self, like fire. This body is without lifespan, like the wind. This body is without person, like water. This body is insubstantial, being housed in the four elements. This body is empty, transcending self and the qualities of self. This body is ignorant, like plants and rocks. This body is inactive, being turned by the power of the wind. This body is impure, replete with defilements. This body is untrustworthy, since even though one washes, clothes, and feeds it, it will necessarily disintegrate. This body is a disaster, vexed by 101 illnesses. This body is like a well on a hill, pressed by age. This body is unreliable, dying in spite of being needed. This body is like a poisonous snake, a vengeful bandit, an empty aggregation. It is the composite of the skandhas, sensory realms, and sensory capacities. Sirs, this body being so calamitous and repugnant, you should wish for the body of the Buddha. Why? The body of the Buddha is the body of the Dharma. It is generated through immeasurable wisdom and merit. It is generated through morality, meditation, wisdom, emancipation, and the knowledge and vision of emancipation. It is generated through sympathy, compassion, joy, and equanimity, that is, the four unlimiteds. It is generated through the perfections of charity, morality, forbearance and adaptability, energetic exertion, meditation, emancipation, samadhi, and learned wisdom. It is generated from skillful means. It has been generated from the 6 penetrations. It is generated from the 3 illuminations. It is generated from the 37 factors of enlightenment. It has been generated from concentration and contemplation. It is generated from the 10 powers, the 4 fearlessnesses, and the 18 exclusive attributes. It is generated from the eradication of all the dharmas that are not good, and accumulation of all the good dharmas. It is generated from the truth. It is generated from the absence of negligence. The Tathagata's body is generated from immeasurable pure dharmas such as these. Sirs, if you wish to attain the body of the Buddha and eradicate all the illness of sentient beings, you should generate the intention to achieve Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Thus did the elder Vimalakirti explain the Dharma for those who inquired about his illness, causing innumerable thousands of people to all generate the intention to achieve Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi.